Thanks for sitting down there, Patty.
No worries.
So we are here in Windsor. We are at the 92nd annual CSTA conference here in Windsor, and this is your last one.
It is.
Wow. So how are you feeling about that?
I'm not sure, you know, it's sad and glad at the same time.
Right.
Change is a good thing, Shawn, and I'm really looking forward to my personal changes, and I think the organization will benefit from a change too. It's been 4 years as CEO almost, and 4 years before that. So, you know, I think that my predecessor is a very smart young man, and I think he's going to take the organization forward, and it's going to be a good thing.
Nice. You have a lot to be proud of in your time spent at CSTA, and I think you've got a lot of fans built up both here at CSTA and globally with the work that you've done. If I force you to pick three things, what would be the three things that you're kind of most proud of, Patty?
Well, I think the first thing that I would be the most proud of was sort of the change in the governance structure of CSTA. CSTA is a very old organization. It was formed in 1923, and things ran a lot differently in 1923, and they were tending to carry that forward. When I started, we moved our organization to a more forward-looking organization that worked on the basis of a strategic plan with really clear success measures and really clear identification of roles for the board of directors and the members and for the staff. And this board and this organization has been phenomenal. They adopted that change so quickly that it's just made my head spin, and I was very, very proud of them more than me, I think, but I think that was one. Number two probably would be the whole move of our organization to be much more collaborative. And I said this on the last time when I talked to Julie in Krakow, but you know, CSTA doesn't do anything in isolation anymore. And because of that, CSTA has seen so many successes, just even in the last couple of years. I am, as I said before, 100% positive that if we had not been able to work collaboratively, that's a hard word, with farmers, we would not have achieved Bill C-18, the Canadian Agricultural Growth Act. We would not have achieved our updates to plant breeders' rights, and we wouldn't have got that 20% increase in the number of applications and all the new investment that's coming. So that's number two. And I think number three is just, I'm so proud of the way that we've been able to work together and bring this industry of intense competitors, people who are out fighting with each other every single minute of every single day of their work, that they come into this room and they work together and they achieve so many things together and they leave all those battles behind. So I think I'm probably proudest of them. I'm more proud of them than I am of me.
Patty, you used an interesting word in your president's message today, and it was trust. At being kind of the cornerstone of a lot of the work that you've done and a lot of the work that the industry's done. Can you talk a little bit about why you think that shift has happened? CSTA hasn't always had the trusting status that it has now. It's a go-to source for information now. What's shifted?
What's shifted is it's trust. It's being there when someone needs you, delivering on what you say that you're going to deliver on, listening, not just hearing, but listening, acting, accepting compromise, never, ever, ever faltering, and always telling the truth. And I think that CSTA has a strong reputation for doing that, and that's why people come to us now, because they know that when we're there and we're giving them information and we're giving them opinions and we're there with them, we're listening to them, we're working with them, and what we're doing is true.
You have up till now had to wear a number of different hats, and the ones I want to focus on right now are your domestic hat and your international hat. There's a different set of responsibilities, different set of rules that you have to work within. How have you managed those two components of your tasks?
The hats aren't that much different,
No.
Shawn. They're not much different at all. In the international field, as Canada as a country, we have this reputation where people look to us for advice, and they look to us for information and leadership. And it's really been interesting as I started participating in ISF, the International Seed Federation, just a while ago, just a few years ago. They're coming to us and saying, how do you do this? How do you achieve this? how do you get farmers to work with you? And it all comes back to trust. And it's pretty much the same thing domestically. Domestically, we've built a lot more of a trusting and working relationship with our regulators, but I think that we've been able to bring that experience internationally to a number of organizations as well. And they are now understanding that you need to work in partnership, not just with farmers and others in the value chain and the seed sector, but you really have to stop looking at government as the bad guys. And you have to give them the information that they need and a reason to do the thing that's right, because they do want to do the thing that's right. So you have to help them do that. So really the hats aren't all that different.
Got it. The seed industry, as I travel globally, I think I realize more and more that the seed industry really is the same wherever you go. They have the same issues, they have the same battles, they have the same dialogue, and they have the same commitment and passion to figuring it out. Canada's always played a leadership role in that. I mean, we've got our big friend right next door, and in this case, right across the river, that we're walking hand in hand through this process. How would you characterize the status of the relationship between, and I won't say CSTA and ASTA, I'll say Canada and the US from a seed perspective?
I think we work pretty closely. As you said, we do have the same issues. We have a different governance structure, a different government structure, a different political system. So the way that we approach things is a little bit different in Canada. I'm not going to pass judgment on how the Americans do their political activism or their lobbying, but I think that it's a little different than ours. Ours is very collaborative. When we go to meet with an MP, we sit down, we have a good informal conversation, and we explain reasoning. I know they do a lot of really big activities like their Storm the Hill, where they send hundreds and hundreds of people around to meet with their leaders. But other than that, we really communicate very closely. We can share in their experience, they can share in our experience. We actually liberally borrow a lot of the stuff that they do, and Andy, my counterpart from the AST, is in our room right now, and he's furiously taking notes about how we're dealing with the pollinator issue, for example. So we do work very closely together, and we do that around the world. Seed industry is the same. We have the same concerns. I think the difference is that we're at different levels of our development, and so there are countries around the world that are still trying to understand how you put in place a quality assurance system, or how you sample, or how you even talk to farmers. And so we can always lead by example, and we can provide information and form partnerships wherever we possibly can.
So at the end of July,
yes.
No more CEO for Patty?
No.
If I was a betting man, I'd say there's some horses in your future.
Might be.
Anything else you can, what are you thinking? What's going to be next on the horizon?
I'm not thinking.
Right.
I'm going to take a whole month off, and I'm going to ride my horse, and I'm going to help out with the farm, and I'm going to just give some thought to, they say I don't have to grow up, but I do say that I'm going to think about what I want to do when I grow up. I'm not going to leave this industry. I love agriculture, and I've worked in agriculture my whole entire life, and I love it, and I love the people in it. So I won't leave the industry, but what I'm going to do, I don't know. We'll wait and see what door opens for me.
Fantastic. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure working with you over the years, Patty, and thanks for taking the time to sit down and have a chat with me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.